Okay, here we are. Welcome to today's video. This is episode 2 of Walking Up Bathurst. And we are at the corner of Bathurst and Eglinton on the east side. And this is where they are constructing the crosstown station, or one of the crosstown stations at Bathurst and St. Clair, or Bathurst and Eglinton. Still looks like there's a lot of work to do. Okay, let's head northbound. Now this episode is going to take us to Lawrence. That's a mighty big crane. I think I overdressed. Ooh, I'm hot. But I'm not gonna start unzipping now. Because I'm all bundled up. Thank you very much for joining me in episode 2. Northbound on Bathurst. So I was looking at my options as far as when to do this video, and initially I thought I would do it yesterday, but when I looked at the forecast for this weekend, it said yesterday was going to be a super cold day, which it was, and that today would be considerably milder, which it is. So today I opted out for walking today. So episode 1 was St. Clair to Eglinton. This one will be Eglinton to Lawrence, and then I'm going to do a third episode from Lawrence to Wilson. Each one of these videos should be maybe around half an hour. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday afternoon. You can see beautiful clear blue skies. Gorgeous. It's just beautiful. Sorry folks, my camera's giving me a attitude. I think I went through, I think my, going up my Loving Young Street walk, I don't think I had an attitude moment with my camera. It's not the camera, it's the gimbal. This gimbal. I regularly have issues with it. But I'm not ready yet to get a new one. I think I'd rather get a zoom on my camera before I got a gimbal. Zoom, yeah, I'd love to get a zoom. Oh, it's really nice. Really a nice afternoon. Thank you for joining me. Hope you guys are having a good day. I don't know how much recording I'm going to do when it gets super cold, because it is really uncomfortable to be recording when it's super cold. I'm just thinking when I was out yesterday, it was minus 18. Holding my hand, like I'm holding the gimbal with one hand, and it gets cold quickly when it's really cold out. I mean, I could certainly switch hands, But it's just not really enjoyable for me to be out recording. I will go out for if I have, you know, errands to do. But it's heads down, and I have my my Jason mask on, and I can't talk very well through that mask. And I walk very quickly because the faster I walk, the warmer I get. Okay, here we are at Roselawn Avenue. Roselawn's a nice street as well. I like it. It's residential primarily. I don't know how exciting it would be to record, but it's part, if you can see on the pole there, it's part of the bike route, Route 26 East. I've taken that route with my bike. In fact, sometimes I go this way if I'm going to Yorkdale Mall, but normally I take the Beltline all the way to the Allen and then go north to get to Yorkdale on my bike. I think I did that once this summer. I think I rode my bike to Yorkdale, I think only once. Yeah, last summer I didn't do very much cycling at all, so I don't like that. So I am reminding myself this coming summer I do need to do more cycling. I thought about mounting my camera on my bike and taking you guys along, but I still have to see how feasible that is. If I want to actually record videos, do videos on my bike. I'm not sure that's something that interests me enough to do it. Not sure. I guess a few times that, well, as I sort of think this through as I'm talking to you about it, we do go to some neat spaces around the city, spots around the city, David and I, with our bikes, so maybe it would be well worth checking out a bike mount for my camera. That just means I have to pay more attention to, I guess, my surroundings, or the language that I use, or just be more aware. Because when we're cycling, you know, we will have a conversation, but not everybody may be interested in hearing, so gotta think that one through. Briar Avenue is a street that I'm very familiar with. It's part of my running route. I normally run west on the Beltline and then go up, cut up near the Allen, and then come eastbound on Briar Avenue. Briar Avenue does have some beautiful homes. And it is a fairly quiet street once we're sort of past the Bathurst area. So probably on my way back, of course I won't be recording because it will be redundant. On my way back to St. Clair, after I finished a series of videos, I think I'm going to walk on the west side. Just to, because I'll be facing the sun and walking south. So I think I want to get out of that. That sun is bright. My niece is getting married August 13th of this year, and she's getting married, of course, in Alberta, a little town outside of Calgary. So we are going to be heading up there this summer, and we'll be there for a few days, David and I, and then David is going to head back home, and I'm going to stay behind in Calgary because Calgary is my hometown, and I want to record in Calgary, but I won't be recording all the areas I'm going to because there's just not enough room to record all my walks. But you know, I'm going to walk to the university, my high school, my junior high school, the four neighborhoods that I lived in Calgary. 2 different neighborhoods living with my parents, and then 2 different neighborhoods living with a roommate. Going to actually visit downtown Calgary, which I completely love. And there's so much change in Calgary. There's neighborhoods in Calgary I've never heard of because they were developed after I left Calgary 33 years ago. So I'm looking forward to doing that. And as far as any other vacations, I guess it all depends on the pandemic, what other traveling we might do. We normally do cycling vacations in the summer, but now that we are both retired, we don't have to necessarily wait and do cycling vacations in the peak of summer. We can do it in June or September, the off-peak months. So our cycling vacations basically are, you know, we cycle from one day's destination to the next, and then there's a service like the Bicycling Tour Company. They have a service that picks up all the luggage from one destination and takes it to the next destination that you're going to be cycling to. So when you arrive at your destination, your luggage is there in your room. So that's super convenient. If we had to cycle and lug our stuff, there's no way that would happen. It would be something I can see doing 30 years ago, but we started doing cycling vacations probably 10 years ago, or over 10 years ago. And we really, really love it. And the funny thing is, you know, we always, of course, there was a couple occasions that we could bring our bikes, but most of our cycling trips are nowhere close to where we are, so we rent the bikes from the tour company. And I know this year we're going to be considering electric bikes, and that just, I've never ever cycled on an electric bike. We have you know, people who have done cycling trips with electric bikes and swear by them. And it basically is you cycle until, you know, if you don't want to, then you initiate the ability to use the electric cycling component. I think it's sort of like flipping a switch, and then the motor takes over, or whatever battery operated mechanism kicks in, and then I don't think you pedal. Not sure. But we are considering that because I really dislike doing hills, and I will certainly do some hills. If they're super steep, I automatically get off and walk the bike up. But you know, there are hills that I certainly will do. The beauty of the electric bike is you don't waste time walking the bike up the hill. The battery, you just switch the battery on and away you go. Some hills can be really super steep, and I'm just not that into it. And David, funnily enough, is he would always I don't know what this guy's doing. He would always do the hill. And be waiting for me up at the top. But even he's thinking maybe it might be a good idea if we get electric bikes for our vacation, and we would rent them from the tour company. So to do a cycling vacation, there are two ways to do it as far as I know. There could be more, but you can go as a group, and I think there is a cycle guide, an actual person that guides the group through. Or you can go, they give you the map and all the specifications needed for making your way on your own. And that's what we do. We go on our own. And one big reason I know why we do it is David really loves, you know, map reading and figuring it out, and it is fairly straightforward, but I would never do that. I would never ever do that, because I will look at the maps, and there's an instructional map, and then there's also like a step-by-step map, but there's also, I think, there's also a picture map. And I normally carry the picture map, and David follows the instructional map, because that's the one that's more important, I feel. But sometimes the maps, you know, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, they're bang on, but there can be that odd sort of misinterpretation or something may have changed along the route and the map wasn't updated. And that to me would get me in a pickle, and I would probably panic. But David finds it a challenge and loves to be able to figure the problem out and how to get back on track. I wish I had that aptitude, that calmness. I don't. And I think that also helps. He's a pilot as well, so I think that helps if you have that, that approach to remain calm and figure it out. So anyhow, he loves to follow and figure out the map and follow the map along as well. We can stop whenever we want. You don't have to wait for the group, or you don't have to stop when the group stops. You're your own guide, and you go pretty much at your own pace. I think there's only one stipulation, is you have to be out of the hotel by 9 o'clock, because that's when the luggage service collects the luggage. And you can still be on the same route as those people that have the guide with them. But you may never see the people that are also on that guided tour. You often can see them maybe at the end of the day. Uh-oh, there's a crowd of girls heading my way. And some of them have their coats open. And just a sign of youth, I think. I remember walking when I was in school, with my coat undone, because it wasn't cool to do up your winter coat. It was just, you had the coat on and you were hugging it to your body, but it was not cool to do it up. I can't imagine how silly why we did that, but that was kind of a thing in junior high school. But I also think that, I know I didn't feel the cold as much as I do as I get older. There's just a super mild breeze. But otherwise it's pretty calm. Yeah, so we hope to be able to do a cycle vacation again this year. The ones that we've done in Canada, we did point to point and PEI, and that was just over 300k, I think. It was nice. I did like it. I did. It was pretty flat, and the route was an actual route that the railway once used, which of course is no longer in existence in PEI. Certainly not along that route, which is right in the middle, right through central PEI pretty much. And then we did one in Quebec, again on an old train track. I think it was called Petit something French, that I apologize, I don't remember, nor I'm sure was never able to pronounce. So we're hoping that we can do that this summer. It all depends on the situation of the pandemic. Well, folks, here we are at Lawrence Avenue. This concludes episode 2 of walking Bathurst. Thank you very much for joining me. Please consider subscribing to my channel, smashing that like box, and perhaps sharing with your friends. That would be awesome. I look forward to seeing you in the last leg of this journey, walking up Bathurst. This is Boomer Girl Walking, signing off.